Welcome to Hameen Loyal. This is Eric Grissom.
And I'm Dan Johnson. Eric and I will be rewatching the iconic Twin Peaks from the pilot through the return and everything in between.
If this is your first time watching, or if you're a longtime fan, you can watch along with us as we dive deep into the strange and wonderful world of Twin Peaks.
We live inside a dream.
Today on Meanwhile, we are jumping into headfirst. Better not be a shallow end of the pool. It's the deep end of the pool. It's the Checkmate end of the pool. Dan, this is episode number 20. Season 2, episode 13. Checkmate, although the game is just beginning, really, so we're not quite at the Checkmate stage. But yeah, we're here to talk about Checkmate, but not before we talk about I Know Catherine the Log Lady.
Wait, what? You know Catherine the Log Lady?
I was lucky enough to see it. I'm going to be talking to the director. It's great. It is a wonderful movie. It is a emotional movie. If you have seen The Return with Catherine, and then you see all of the drama that led to that, it's just wonderful. It's beautiful. You'll get emotional over it. But her life, it's more than just that. Like, it's about people that love to make things, whether it's performance, whether it's art, the dedication to the craft and the people that were around her and her life. And there's a really interesting story structure. I would just highly recommend it to anyone. Clearly, anyone who likes Twin Peaks should watch it. If you have any connection to the Log Lady, you should watch it. If you've seen The Return, you should watch it. If somehow you ended up on a Twin Peaks deep dive podcast by accident and have not seen Twin Peaks, you should still watch it. She's just that interesting.
If you made it all the way to episode 20 of this podcast by accident.
Right. If you've gotten this far, you should watch it. Highly, highly recommend. I Know Catherine the Log Lady. Yeah, check it out. It's great. Good night, everybody.
Wait, Eric, wait. We have something else to talk about.
Yes, Dan, this is episode 20. As I said, it aired on January 19th, 1991. Calendar fans, we're in the 1991s.
Oh.
This is, well, I guess last time we were in the 1991s too, so.
Shush. We can still celebrate.
CBS, Grand Ole Opry.
And there's lots of hurting songs, but there's only one Loretta Lynn.
Right? So you can watch a Grand Ole Opry, you can watch Twin Peaks, or you can watch Carol and Company. And it used to be Carol and Company and American Dreamer.
Yeah.
With Carol Kane.
We remember those.
They're off the board.
Oh,
Enter
boy.
Dear John. Now, Dear John, that was a spin-off. No, Dear John is the one with John Larroquette, where he was divorced.
No, isn't it?
No, it's with
Judd Hirsch.
Judd Hirsch, yes.
I remember. Why do I remember that show? I was watching that instead of Twin Peaks, apparently.
I feel like Dear John was not dumped on a Saturday. It must have been on a weekday and then ended up on a Saturday.
Oh, maybe. Okay.
Because I remember watching it too. I remember the Dear John with the Dear John letters, divorced guy. I like Judd Hirsch.
Oh, so Dear John, actually, you're right, started in 1988, and 92 is when it ended. So they must have moved it to try to...
They moved it to Saturday. Yeah, right. It's one of those... If you're on Saturday night, even though Twin Peaks, at the height of its fame, was moved here, was not a normal move. You don't put good television at the time on a Saturday night at 10. Sting was on SNL that night. Sadly, no Dune sketches were filmed. Missed opportunity.
Oh.
But anyway, episode 20, written by Harley Peyton. We know Harley Peyton. He's sort of running Twin Peaks at this point. It's directed by Todd Holland. Now, this is Todd Holland's last episode. We had previously seen Todd Holland's work in episode 11, a.k.a. Laura's Secret Diary, which was a great episode. That's the one that opens with Leland and the camera's coming out of the wall, and it's spinning around his head, and he's being interrogated for Jacques Renault's murder.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Or confessing to it. Wonderful episode. This one doesn't have quite the same weight as that one does.
Great episode.
I had mentioned before on the show, and then I mentioned again last week, this is also sort of the division with David Lynch and Harley Peyton, was supposedly this particular episode. Although, Harley Peyton did an interview with a David Lynch podcast called On Blue Tomorrows. You can find it on YouTube, where he talks about the episode, or the falling out, or however you want to word it. So, according to Harley Peyton, Todd Holland preps this opening shot, and the night before they shoot, David Lynch calls Todd Holland and has a bunch of script notes. He's like, I want you to change this and this and this. And then Todd Holland calls Harley Peyton. He's like, oh my God, what am I going to do? There's all these notes. I'm all set for this shot. Like, I can't change all this stuff. I'm going to lose my day. And we only have Piper Laurie for a certain amount of time, and it's going to mess everything up. So then Harley Peyton, these are all Harley Peyton's words, I'm paraphrasing, calls Mark Frost, who's off doing Storyville, and it's like, you got to do something about David Lynch. He's making us change this stuff. And he had said, like, then Mark Frost is like, oh, okay, I'll take care of it, and then doesn't. So then basically Harley Peyton tells Todd Holland, ignore David Lynch's notes. Go with what you have, whatever. I'm protecting my directors. David Lynch calls Harley Peyton, chews him out, starts yelling at him for like 5 minutes straight. And that's sort of the end of their relationship. They go on, they do on the air, pretty much everyone from Twin Peaks, Mark Frost, David Lynch, Bob Engels, no Harley Peyton. So it's sort of the end of their any type of friendship, I guess. He says, though, in this interview, that it is episode 11, the one with Leland that we talked about. But I think he's misremembering. I think it's this episode. Because they both have weird opening shots. One is Leland being coming out of the wall, and the other one is Major Briggs in the quote-unquote White Lodge or whatever. When we talk about that scene, what is that scene? That makes sense to me that he would be giving notes on that.
Yes,
it's after he's already dealt with Maddie. That episode, he's already sort of mad that he had to reveal the killer. This would line up with when Mark Frost would be away doing the movie, and it would make sense for him to sort of be like, you know what? Well, forget it. Like, I'm not going to be as involved, or I'm not going to, I'm getting all this stuff from the studio, and now I'm also can't even make changes on a show that I'm producing. So, I don't know. That's my 2 cents on that whole thing. It's also, if you look at Todd Holland's interview with the Red Room podcast, he talks about getting positive notes on that first episode from David Lynch and making those notes. So it doesn't really jive. All right, so let's just jump into it. You don't want to hear me talk about gossip and behind the scenes drama, I guess you could say. We're here to talk about the episode. So let's go in there. Let's take it in. Let's take it to the streets. Let's take our shirts off. Skins versus shirts. I remember, I think on the old Doctor Who show, I told you about that horrible thing when I played soccer. And I had never, my parents were divorced. Dad wasn't around. I didn't know a lot about sports. I was like, hey, I was in kindergarten. Soccer sounds fun. Sure, Ma, sign me up. Lets you go with all these other boys. Some grown man who was already making me uncomfortable was like, skins versus shirts. Half the boys are taking their shirts off. And then we're just thrown into a field. And I was in a goalie. I didn't know you could use your hands. So the guy's coming, kicking the ball. I'm just standing there. He's shirtless, too, so it's already weird. Kicks the ball in. My teammate comes up to me, says, you suck. And that was the end of sports for me.
Welcome back to another episode of Excavating Eric's Trauma.
Childhood condition. I didn't notice it till the war. Career, remember that, do you? was leading the battalion up towards the 49th parallel. We were just a bunch of fresh-faced kids. I didn't know what kind of hell we were stepping into.
Ernie, I want you to focus on the here and now. Repeat your instructions to me step by step.
Okay. I take Denise up to Dead Dog Farm. I introduce her to Renault.
Right.
I take Renault through the buy, complete the transaction, and get the hell out of there, huh?
Good. Harry, that's when you come in. By golly, I sure wish I could join you fellas. But I've temporarily lost my enforcement franchise.
I bet.
Well, I've been giving that some thought. Consider yourself deputized. Bureau's loss is my gain.
I hope I can live up to this.
All right, so Major Briggs, suffering from amnesia, struggles to recall fragments of his adventure through time and space. Doc Hayward, Truman, and Cooper question him about his work. Dan, we talked a little bit about this opening shot jumping into the episode. What are your thoughts? What do you think any of this stuff means? What are we looking at here?
Yeah, I wasn't prepared for such an interesting opening shot. This is very unusual, like you had mentioned. But now that you say the connections here, maybe it makes a little bit more sense from the director's point of view. But yeah, it starts off with what can only be described as a flying space biohazard logo coming at you. So we have Major Briggs trying to recall whatever he can from the time when he was missing for 2 days, and he's in this, I don't know, dream world sort of thing where he's sitting on what looks like a stone chair, surrounded by vines in a deep forest. We're in the woods. I don't know where we are. We're someplace.
Yeah, the forest, the woods. Yes, it's definitely nature.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know if it's like, sure. The woods where the radio signal was being observed from. I don't know like where we are specifically, but yeah, some woods, and he's sitting there in his full dress uniform. I love the sound design in this section.
I remember stepping from the flames, a vague shape in the dark, then nothing, till I found myself standing by the cold remains of our campfire 2 days later.
Major,
So the vocal distortion on everyone is really cool, but then you also get that growling in the background. There's sounds like a tiger is just ready to pounce at any moment. So there's just this sense of danger in the background the whole time. Then there's the owl screech whenever he mentions that. So the sound design alone is very cool. That with this unexpected, for me, imagery of this kind of maybe sort of hypnosis, whatever it is, the session where he's trying to recall this information was really cool. And as we come out of that, this is such a great emotional scene for us to see Briggs. He's always been kind of the stoic man, very duty bound, driven by duty, highly intelligent, but also highly follows the prescribed rules of what you're allowed to do, what you're supposed to do. And in this case, he's fighting all of that. You can tell he wants to tell them more, but he's absolutely duty bound to not be able to say anything. This is classified information. I can't tell you anything. And the fight that's going on with him, just seeing him break even in this small-ish way compared to other people who Leland has a total breakdown. It's a completely different thing. Just this small amount of seeing Garland break down, I think, is so impactful. What does he say about is this meant for the soul?
Yeah,
I don't know if you have
he
that
connects
line.
it to his soul.
Oh man, there's just so much going on here with that. But yeah, so we start learning more about Project Blue Book. Again, as soon as he mentions the White Lodge, that's when he's instantly interrupted. Someone's at the door, just like whenever he was with Cooper at the fire at the campsite. And he says, wants to tell you more about the White Lodge. That's when he gets abducted. So it's just this, it feels like there's this, I don't know, cosmic force keeping him from telling more about this, even though he wants to and is still fighting whether or not he actually is able to with this classification and everything. That's what it feels like. And we learn a little bit more. Project Blue Book was this government operation about UFOs and investigating that was disbanded in 1969, but some people have continued to do it. But I love this detail of like they continue to search the heavens above and the ground below Twin Peaks.
Yeah, it's like a witchcraft thing. As above, so below.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think of that. Great. Yeah, it's just very cool. And then, Briggs gets, the officer sent in to collect Briggs, and Harry stands up for him, which I think was just a great moment. This is my police station and this is my friend. Was really cool. And then there's just this last moment that, there's Doc Hayward, Truman, and Cooper are standing there, and there was the water dripping from the sprinkler, which I don't know if that goes anywhere in this episode.
It's connected to Leland Bob. It's a reminder that this is connected to Bob.
I mean, I guess, yes, that is obviously what came to mind for me as well. I didn't know if it would pay off more in this episode, but also it feels a little bit strange, as like Bob's not still there, is he? So it's just this big kind of question mark that's opening up. Like I said, he mentions the White Lodge and immediately gets interrupted. There's the dripping, so maybe Bob is there. So like it really does point towards something, some energy, some force, something's watching and paying attention to what's going on here. Yeah, I don't know. That's a whole bunch of stuff. Makes sense of that, Eric.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's interesting. It's a strange opening. You talked about the sound mix, and it's very reminiscent of how much fun he had with the sound on his previous episode, Todd Holland's previous episode, with all the layering of the sound. And the previous one we heard Cheryl Lee as Laura Palmer saying "Daddy," and all of these things sort of on top of each other. This one opens with a voice. It's hard to tell. It's a man's voice. You're saying Cooper, like saying Cooper in the stars, and you hear this voice, and we know, Briggs had showed him the thing where Cooper was coming from those space readouts.
Mm-hmm.
There's a chair, and Briggs in a chair is going to come back later in the return, so it's a little bit of a chair thing going on here. I love the recollection that he has about stepping from the flames, and you get that sense that there's a shape in the dark, and then all of a sudden he's here. So it's like he's trying to piece these things together. When Doc Hayward offers some kind of new techniques, like he's going to put him under hypnosis or something, Briggs is like, no, my memories are immune, but he can see them, he can feel them. And one of the only things that he remembers is a giant owl. So you've got that connection to the giant owl. We know the giant owl or we don't know, but I can connect the giant owl to the giant, which we saw trying to help Cooper. We're hearing this thing about White Lodge. We're hearing about how there's these entities in the White Lodge that are trying to help people, as we're hearing these pieces of this story as it's going on and on. So you could look at this opening as like, oh, he's in the White Lodge, or he's accessed the White Lodge in some capacity. I do not believe it's the White Lodge. I have a very specific idea of what the White Lodge is, and the Black Lodge, and the waiting room, and the Red Room.
So what's the difference between the waiting room and the what did you call it?
Well, wait.
No, I want to know more.
Let's have that conversation after the final episode of season 2.
Piquing my interest now.
Because that's when I'll have
more to say
about it.
Okay.
The symbol is cool, like the triangular scars, which also appears as a marking, like he's marked now.
Yeah.
So he has this symbol that's coming down. It's like 3 mountains as opposed to 2 mountains, but we're going to learn more about that symbol, or study more about that symbol.
I had said, like, the first thing that came to mind was it was like a flying space biohazard symbol, but it's actually closer to the nuclear warning symbol, right? Except that has a dot in the middle. But I mean, that's kind of what it's more reminiscent of, which, I don't know, maybe connects to other things later. But yeah, anyway, sorry.
Yeah, and then you see that he's got that same marking on him, which is very cool. Don Davis is just so good. As you said, like he's by the book classifications, and when he thinks about it, he's like, I'm less faith in this classification. I don't understand. I'm doubting the purpose and meaning of keeping secrets.
Yes.
I keep repeating about secrets and how dangerous secrets are, and all the stuff about secrets, and when you keep secrets, and he opens up for the first time, and he immediately starts telling them about Project Blue Book, and all of this stuff seems like it's going to be coming out, and then bam, Riley's men are in there, hauling him off before we can get anything. You talked about the Leland thing, but again, it's the sprinkler thing rather.
Yeah,
this thing happens, it falls on it. It's like, okay, all of these worlds are connected. Where is Bob at this point? We don't know where Bob is.
That's true.
Right? Did he die with Leland, or the end of that episode was the owl flying through the woods? And that's how that ended. So even Cooper's thinking, where is Bob now? And that is the question. All right, so we're going to jump over to Truman's office. Ernie makes a call to Jean Renault to set up the buy, while Cooper and Denise look on. Dick fills Andy in on the little Nicky drama, while Lucy eavesdrops and looks for Earl's next chess move.
Yeah, I mean, we get Ernie again, kind of like the last time we saw him with Denise and Cooper, but he's all bluster, and Ernie Niles is as bold as can be, and then immediately is just like, please don't make me do this. But I love he's such a big character, and such a he's a funny, I like the character a lot, just super funny, super strange in a way. We get this whole thing about him having whatever the medical condition is he had since childhood.
Yeah, hyperhidrosis.
That's the one. I think it's just a small details. Cooper comes in to check on Denise and Ernie to see how it's going. He hasn't made the call yet. And Cooper comes over to sit next to Ernie as he's like, I can do this. I'm going to make the call. And Cooper picks up a donut from the plate. And there's a bite taken out of it, and the donut was put back. And the look of disgust on Cooper's face, you never see that anywhere else, but this is sacrilegious, what you just did. It was terrible.
You can't do that.
That was a great small little detail. Yeah, I don't know. Then Ernie finally does it.
First off, I miss donuts. I like seeing donuts as part of this thing, whether or not someone's taken a secret bite. I love Ernie. James Booth is just absolutely fantastic. As off as some of these episodes are, and say what you will about his, when he comes over with Vivian, it's like, oh, these two. But then you're like, actually, James Booth is great. And every scene he's in, I enjoy him. And Ian Buchanan is always good. And the way he animates his face, like he has so much fun with this role, with the Dick character. And it's absurd. And it's not, the little Nicky thing is just dumb. It's not, I'm not putting this on the same level as I'm putting some of these other Twin Peaks things. But he's having so much fun with it. It's kind of contagious. Yeah. When they make a plan to break in and read little Nicky's files, and he's all dressed up like he's going, like it's Carmen Sandiego, like he's in the full 1940s spy outfit. Yeah. And it's just fun. It's just fun. We are reminded at the end of this scene, Cooper talking to Lucy, like, did you find any of these chess moves? Like, we're supposed to be... Don't forget about the Earl story, and I just feel like it should be way more of a focus to these episodes. This one, the one before it, like we're just getting spoon-fed these tiny, and I think we need a little bit more. And if there's going to be so much stuff we're going to talk about with Jean Renault, we need to see him. If he's really this foil for Cooper, and it's a dangerous, like, show a scene with him instead of a little Nicky scene. Or do something instead of the, whatever. I don't know. I don't want to repeat myself. All right, so we're going to go to the Double R. Ed passes Norma a note.
I don't have anything to say except just these two. So lovelorn. It's just heartbreaking every time. That's all.
Yeah, I love the transition into the scene that they hold, the choice to hold on the old man leaving the Double R till he gets to the street. And then the car or the truck turning. It's a bus, sorry, that's turning. And it's just this quiet moment of a small town, this old guy walking, and it's nice. and it's pretty, and I like it, and I like that choice to hold it because it's like your instinct is to cut and to move to action. It's like, yes, let's get a little bit of time before we go to this love story that I love.
Mm-hmm.
And I love these two, and I'll talk more later about them. All right, so we're going to jump over to the Johnson home. Shelley's life continues its downward spiral. Bobby leaves her for Ben Horn, and Leo watches through baby food-stained eyes.
I will note, importantly, that Invitation to Love finally makes a return. You can hear it playing in the background. It's been a very long time. We've been in plenty of scenes in the Johnson house with Shelley in a scenes just like this, where she's just dealing with all this stuff. And you would think in this domestic setting, that's the perfect time to have Invitation to Love playing in the background. But now it's coming back and is definitely a signifier of something, coming. It's just signifying more is going to be happening with this scene than what we're seeing on the surface of it. But again, just poor Shelley. No matter what, she just has the worst guys around her. Bobby, said ostensibly he was doing all of this for her. Think of a better life together. He could buy her anything she wants, everything with the insurance money. He's taking this job with Ben Horn, but he really just doesn't care. He's just such a jerk to her. He obviously didn't think the relationship was going to go this way, that it would just be this drudgery. He just thought they'd be, I don't know, on a beach someplace together. And he just walks out on her. Like this slap in the face that she gives him is absolutely perfect. And it's been a long time in coming. And Thank goodness. Good job, Shelley. You totally need that. But then that final shot, I guess maybe the final shot in the scene of just Leo sitting there watching her, and the eye kind of twitches before she screams. Just fantastic. It's definitely setting up that feeling of foreboding. Something's going to be going on here. It's great. What about you?
What the Invitation to Love is just perfectly ironically placed in this scene between this couple. And you hear on Invitation to Love, and of course you get this domestic situation of this crumbling love affair that's spiraling out of control. Bobby drinking beer for breakfast, apparently, I guess after baseball practice. Or before baseball practice, or before he's going to go to bed. He's just pretty much off school, I think. But I like the fact that he's drinking beer in the morning. That Leo eye twitch thing is great, too, because it's like this little bit of a twitch. And then he's just staring at her, and she's screaming, and not screaming in reaction to his movement, but that her life is just trash. Yeah. And it's like, don't forget, this is a mystery I still like. These two have so much chemistry too, and then it's like, this is an overarching thing. I complained about this last time.
Keep going.
You point a camera at Machen Amick, and it's lighting up the screen. She's powering your city. It's like that with Cheryl Lee or Sherilyn Fenn. But these characters are hardly in it. You get Shelley for like 2 seconds covered in food, and then she's just gotten. It's like, what are you guys doing? What are we doing? You have superstars on the set of this show. Lara Flynn Boyle's hardly in the show at this point, if at all. Nothing going on. Shelley is just sitting there, waiting to become a damsel to Leo, and it just makes you so frustrated because it's like the chemistry between Bobby and Shelley is fantastic. But we don't get any of that. And I'm fine with them fighting and stuff. It just seems like some of the best parts of this show and what made this show so great are hardly paid any attention to. And all of our focus is put on just like dumb things, like little Nicky subplots and James fixing a car.
Oh boy, here it comes.
And Civil War Ben, I have some fondness for. But I don't know, anytime when you see Machen on you point a camera at her, it's like you're halfway there, you're done.
Yep.
Anyway, all right, so James is going to check in with his uncle, ask for money, and Evelyn is going to ask him about his past. I hope that's not a long distance call, James.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is a time of having to worry about your minutes. I don't have a whole lot to say about it. Sweet baby James. He's got his piggy bank full of $12.
He's only got $12. It's very sad. But Ed knows immediately how much is in there. Like, send me everything in my savings. You only have $12 in there.
Well, James needs an adult to supervise him when he goes to the bank. So yeah, that's good. He has a co-signer on his checking account. Yeah, that's fantastic. Sure. Yeah, still hanging out there. We got Evelyn coming in with her ridiculously oversized I got hit in the face sunglasses.
Very Donna coded, right? I mean, she's acts like Don. Yeah. I mean, I think like her whole thing, not like a 1-to-1 match, same sunglasses, but she's wearing those sunglasses. She's acting the way Donna used to act post Laura's death. Like she's doing that whole thing. So it's like, I guess James does have a type.
He just has he has a I don't know. It's not quite a messiah complex. What is it? But just the idea, the martyr complex, that he has to be the person to help the damsel in distress. Like he cannot resist that.
Yeah, I don't know if martyr's the right word.
No,
he's like martyr, a savior complex or something.
Yeah, savior complex.
He's got to be the one to save them.
If he doesn't, then that's when he becomes the martyr and has to go ride off on his motorcycle for however else. I don't know. Not a whole lot going on. Fine, sure. They got the scene. They ask about his past, but I don't even care.
You learn some plot stuff like, okay, I need this money. I'm going to send it to Wally's. So now we know the money has to go to Wally's.
Sure.
I don't know. I guess this is a good way of outlining and really painting in deep colors James's whole shtick when he's got to talk about Laura and how, you know, she got hurt, and then talk about Maddie. So it's like, here, I couldn't help her. Now I'm going to help you. It's like, we've been getting that.
Yeah.
But here it is just really laid out for you. Like all of this history with James, you see her black eye, you know, something's going wrong. That's not good. It's not that much different as well. No, I guess it is a lot different, but part of it reminds me a little bit of Lost Highway. You've got like him fixing the car for Mr. Eddie, but then he's falling in love with the Mr. Eddie's girl and all of that. I guess that's a well-worn trope, certainly beyond Lost Highway. I don't know. I don't have anything else. Let's go to the double R.
Let's do it.
Nadine flirts with Mike, and it turns out she might be making some progress. Norma tries to sneak off to see Ed, but is confronted by Hank.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit more than flirting, I think. Nadine was all over him. Sometimes she can't help herself, you know?
She can. I mean, it doesn't matter how many pieces of pie he orders or coffee. She is or legal action. She is not going to stop. But the look on his face after that kiss.
I mean, Mike Nelson, you're the handsomest boy I've ever known. Jesus, just like on top of him. But yeah, I don't know. So you saw the same thing I did. Mike is definitely like, I don't know, a little maybe confused by some feelings.
I think he's thinking about it at this point. I think it's safe to say he's thinking about it.
I don't know. She got super strength and super kissing powers. So
she's a super strength and she's a super libido. We've already seen that in action before with Ed and the kiss when she did so. There's a lot under the hood, I think, that we're going to see, and I think Mike's maybe open to the possibility.
Oh, fantastic. We go from there to Norma getting ready to go out and run some errands. But the composition of the shots, so they have what is it between them, like a storage sort of thing?
It's like the milkshake machine or something, the milk machine, and the way they're framed is great.
Yeah, it's in between them, so that there's kind of peering between the two of them and obscured. It's like just keeps questioning her. She's got to know that he's onto her. I mean, doesn't seem like the most inquisitive guy in the world. I don't know. Maybe in his past, he's a very controlling guy, would ask a lot of questions, kind of like we saw Leo with Shelley in the very beginning. But she's got to know that he's onto something there. And then, just treat it as a test. Oh, I will. I mean, just, you couldn't be more arch than that, which is really great to set this up.
That shot is great, though, just the way that they're trapped, visually and narratively by this guy is awesome. But yeah, he's certainly an abusive guy that this is not probably the first time that he's followed her or been overly possessive of her.
It's only because I love you so much. I don't know. What else is going on in that scene?
All right.
Nothing?
So, no, that was it. I just want to talk about that shot. All right. Great. At the Blue Pine Lodge, Harry stops in to visit the help. Josie declines his invitation to move in with her.
I mean, Harry's advances on Josie just seem both desperate and creepy at the same time.
he is sex obsessed. He is like an unhinged man that just wants sex.
That's it. Like he's
He's
not
out of
really-
control.
Does not want to hear her explain why she said no. She said no. She said no. And he's still all kissing on her up against a wall. But doesn't want to hear anything she has to say. Just
In Harry's defense, that's
Okay.
also part of their rip the dress thing, maybe. I agree. He's like ravenous for
Yeah.
her, and she's not having it. She's not going to move in with him. So you have to start
No.
to think about Josie.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if she's still trying to protect him or if it really is. She says it's because, she's not good enough for him now that she's, changed her station as Catherine's maid, but there's something else going on here, I think. But I guess we'll find out later.
Well, you have to decide if you still trust Josie or
Sure.
not. Hello, friends, and welcome to the midpoint. You knew it was coming, but it's important. It's important to champion those that have joined us in the Black Lodge and have made this show possible by going above and beyond. I'm, of course, talking about Eric Knopp, and Dawn Adamo, and Gregory Flanagan, and Chuck Suffle, and Banjo Track. I may want all my Garmonbosia, but you will have my heart forever. How did they get here? How did they get a shout out like this? Because they have joined our Patreon, which is available right now. So if you want to support the show, you can stop by and sign up for free or do one of the paid tiers that gets you the secret podcasts and you help us out. Go to ericgrissom.com/meanwhile and you should see a link for the Patreon there. All right, let's get back to the proper episode. All right, so we're going to go over the Great Northern. Ben Horne burns through assistance on his manic spiral into Ken Burnsland, and Audrey intervenes finally, hoping to save him and their flailing business.
Yeah, this is fun. We got Ben in full Confederate general mode, complete with accent, which is lovely. Ben Horne's got a great Southern Confederate accent. I'm trying to recall. We open on Audrey going up to the officer. She's in the outside hallway, and Ben's now ex-assistant is walking out. What does she wear? What's going on with her?
She's got like looks like a bandage on her head. She's got the drum as well, so like she must have been playing.
Oh, but maybe she was role playing. Maybe she was role playing instead.
Yeah, like a wounded soldier or something, and whatever. But he's yelled at her. But she's also got a bottle of ketchup, probably for blood.
Good,
so I think that's what it is.
Thank you. I'm going to choose to believe it was role-playing and not that she got the crap beat out of her while she was eating a hamburger. Good.
She's just role-playing, LARPing. She's LARPing with him.
LARP this. Yeah, I don't know. Audrey ends up calling, the most responsible person she could think of, and that would be Jerry Horne. Fantastic. So Uncle Jerry hopefully will be on the way. We'll hear a little bit more later. And just Ben, here's me being a dummy, and I can't necessarily figure out the metaphor. Maybe I just haven't thought about it enough. But Ben talks about why he's doing this. Basically, this war between the states, war between his state of mind, who he was and who he is now. Like, what is the Confederacy thing that is? He's acting out this mental breakdown that he's having, and it's coming out in this thing, and it's clearly a metaphor, but I haven't quite put the pieces together of what it's trying to say.
Well, I think it's just he's playing as the South, which I don't like, but that's the side that loses. So he set himself up to win this impossible fight. He's lost his empire, so he's at a position of the ultimate underdog. And now he's playing out this fantasy of winning in a scenario that he will lose, as history shows that he will lose. But he's now locked in this thing where he's got to sort of, do the impossible. I like this scene a lot. Yeah.
Do you think that in his delusion, do you think he's trying to actually win, or is he setting himself up on the most epic losing path ever? Like, is he trying to right a wrong through this metaphor, or is he just like, this is the path that I'm on and I'm reliving it in this other way? Am I reading too much into it?
So what was the question? I think you're reading too much into it, but what is the question?
Picking the Civil War reenactment as his way to work through the trauma that he's dealing with, and
Yes, I think so.
choosing the losing side. Is he choosing the losing side in order to rewrite history and not lose, or he chose the losing side because it is the grandest display of the same thing that happened to him? He's reliving the loss again. Which direction is he going to go?
I think it's both. I think he wants to win. I feel like for him to pull himself out of this hole, he has to win, which is rough because you don't want the South to win. But that I think that's what all it is. It's just overcoming everything that I said before, overcoming an impossible scenario. History is interesting, and Ben Horn's doing this thing, but it is how does he get through this impossible scenario? But I think the more important thing here is, or the more important thing to me, I should say, is Audrey coming to her father's aid. Like, her hatred and anger at her father, like, we're not that far off One-Eyed Jack's, him coming on to her, but it falls away to her own empathy because this guy is still her father. And yes, maybe the motivations lie in also not wanting to lose your family business and your fortune. It's all going down the drain. He's supposed to be running a hotel. He has all these other business interests. It's one of the reasons why we got to get Jerry in here, because we're losing everything. But I think it's more than that. I think that she sees her dad in a wounded, vulnerable place, and she's rising to the occasion. And it also continues the Audrey path to business that I had talked about, which I wish it was the path to the FBI, but it's going to be the path to business. And so I like that. There's some familial drama here that has stakes with characters that we've grown to know. And so I like that about this. It is absurd, but it's like the best of these plot lines,
I agree,
in my opinion, with the exception of maybe Leo. All right, so we're going to end the Big Ed Norma love story.
And
all right, so at Big Ed, I say that because a lot of people malign the Civil War, Ben, and I can find a lot of good things about this.
Well, when you're comparing it to some of the other storylines, it definitely stands above those for sure.
Sure. In this section. I mean, this is not going to hold a candle to anything that we've done prior to the reveal of the killer. All right. So at Big Ed's house, Norma reacts to Ed's note and confesses her love.
Yep. I don't know, man. It's just,
I love this unironically. I love this romance. I know it's over the top. I know it's soap opera-y or whatever, but it works for me. I love it.
Well, but this is a soap opera. I mean, it's a examination, a satire, a takeoff on an extension of a soap opera. So you need that stuff for sure. And there's so many of those tropes going on. But poor Ed he's still in that house that is still really more feels like Nadine's house than his house. And she, as we saw like an episode a few ago, doesn't even recognize the place. Obviously, she doesn't have any recollection of it.
It's going to get remodeled soon too. Yeah.
So it's just he's still like, I love that idea of still being stuck in this place that is not his. It's still his own prison that he's deciding to continue to live inside of. But now we got Norma here. It's fantastic, taking a step forward. Maybe.
Yeah, it's good. All right, so back at the sheriff's station, Ernie is wired for sound, and we meet his FBI contact for the buy. Cooper is made deputy of the Twin Peaks Sheriff Department.
I had misremembered this. This is when we find sweaty Ernie. Is in this scene when Hawk is trying to tape him up. Hawk is just so disgusted by it as well, which is not fair. No body shaming. But poor sweaty Ernie. I just love that he has a story for everything. Like he starts an excuse for everything, but he's like talking about like the Korean War. We're just a bunch of fresh-faced boys.
He just self-aggrandizes at every opportunity, but also being very weak.
Absolutely. So like I love that. It's almost, he just reminds me very much of like the Cowardly Lion. It's like a lot of this like and also in the comic sense of it too, because I think he's a very funny character.
Yeah, and that's what this scene too, when he talks about all that stuff about the war, and then you're thinking back, you're like, he conned John Renault too when he was talking about I'm wired in, the Colombians or whatever. Because even Hank in that scene was like, where did you get that from? Like, so everything that he says is just horseshit.
Yeah, love that. We get the line from Cooper, something along the lines of like being bummed that he can't go with them, that he doesn't have his badge and gun anymore. And then Harry, man, I love it. Deputized. We got Deputy Dale now. This is so good. Which is really cool. And then just the last thing, get a reveal of Dennis coming in, looking sharp in the suit with the hair pulled back. Just awesome to see him there. That's it. Go ahead. Tell me what's up.
I get the idea of Cooper being a deputy, but it is so hard for me not to see him as an FBI agent. He's just so best in the suit, and maybe that's just my own nostalgia for the character. I just feel like the character works best in this higher level where there's no questions asked. He's in charge. You don't know how he's working or whatever. As a deputy, I get it, but I don't love it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's an interesting direction. Like, what would it be like having to take orders from Harry or whatever? But it's like, I don't know. I just want him back. I want him back in the suit. He is the FBI. And so I look forward to that. The Dennis scene is fantastic. David Duchovny is so good playing Denise, playing Dennis, because that's where it's awkward. Him playing Dennis, or him as Denise playing Dennis, and there's that thing where he's trying to stand. He doesn't really know how to stand. That's the awkward part, not the other way around. And it's just such a great scene. And I love it. That's my favorite part of this particular scene, other than James Booth. I'm really a big fan of James Booth. Watching this episode, even more so. I just think he's great. All right, so we're going to go to the Dorrit home for boys, where Dick and Andy search the records while the staff is out for lunch. The Brunstons arrive for little Donnie and get some bad news.
I will note that either that previous scene ends or this scene begins with the interstitial of the wind through the trees. It doesn't seem to have much of a connection to the same connotations as it has in the past.
There's a lack of streetlights too.
It hasn't been. Your favorite, everybody's favorite streetlight hasn't been out.
I think it's
Dorrit Home for Boys, a Dickens reference. I've never read Little Dorrit. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
A book about, I think, like an orphaned kid in poverty. I mean, that's every Dickens book is an orphaned kid in poverty. So I don't know. Whatever. They're all the same. But anyway, Dorrit Home for Boys. Just Andy and Dick searching the records is just friggin' nuts. When the Brunsons come in, Andy is trying to like, come on, man, we gotta move, and Dick's just sitting there like reading the entire case file. And when the Brunsons comes in, the fact that his first thing he thinks of about asking about Donnie is he's dead is just so great. It's such a good line. Dead tired. Is fantastic. Also, Andy calls him Dick, and then Dick tries to cover and calls Andy Woody, which is great. I mean, fine, to trying to cover the names, but like Woody, his name could easily be Woody. I don't know why it fits so perfectly for Andy, but if that character's name is Woody, 100% agree that is him. The fact that he's trying to like cover up the name is absolutely ridiculous because they're in the town of Twin Peaks and there's got to be only a handful of police officers. So it's like, if anyone had any questions, I don't think it'd be all that hard to track him down, but they might get thrown off by the name.
This seems great. Again, Ian Buchanan is so funny. Like, we got to go sub Rosa under the rose. When he says we may have to pick the lock and Andy just reaches over and opens the door, I found to be very funny. And also when he's looking for N, he's like, find the file for N. He's like, not here. And I'm like, it's not going to be Nicky. Like, they're not going to put under Nicky. And it's the last name Needleman. So he's Nicky Needleman.
Needleman.
Like, so Harley Peyton is very funny. Like, he's a great writer. As much as I'm dogging on him for some of these choices that he's making, he's probably, I don't know how old was he when he was doing this show. Probably in his 20s. You're on this hit show, all of a sudden the two main guys running it disappear. So there's got to be so much stress as well involved in that. And at the same time, you've got a storyline between Cooper and Audrey that you have to sort of, figure out ways around.
Redo the whole thing.
So as much as I don't like some of the storylines, he's very funny. And there's things in this that are hysterical. I like this whole thing, as silly as it is.
It is, at least they're doing something with it that is purely funny and not just, it just feels like a drag. It moves quickly and it's funny. So great.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Okay, so Ed and Norma's tryst is interrupted by Donna. Ed gives her $12 to give to James. Norma leaves. Hank attacks Ed, and Nadine kicks his ass. A lot happens in one scene.
I still really like Donna and Ed's relationship. It was established in the very first episode, but definitely in the first
In
season.
the pilot, yeah, that meet me at the Roadhouse note.
Yeah. It's just this. Ed and Donna seems like a niece and nephew sort of relationship, but like I really like it. I think it's genuine. Is this the only time we see Donna in this episode? I think.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I think so.
Right, she gets like 2 lines and she's out. It's a quick week for her. So that's cool. Where was Hank hiding that he could materialize basically out of thin air?
Literally just peeping. I think he was just peeping. Maybe him and Leo had a thing, with the swinging thing.
Oh, that's true. But he was just like right there.
It's all right there. It's like Donna's there at the door. Ed's there. Turns around. Norma's there. Norma leaves. Turns around. Hank's there. It's like, it's ridiculous. It's like they needed 2 scenes and they just were like, we'll just shoot the whole thing in Big Ed's living room. Yeah, I don't know where he was. He was just hiding behind the couch for a while they were making out. Like,
I guess I don't know. But then Nadine coming in and finally the super strike was paying off. But on the downside, all of Nadine's curios got destroyed
because the new Nadine is killing the old Nadine. I guess
she really is. But yeah, she
trapped in a metaphor.
To Ed's defense. Beautiful. I love that she recognizes Hank as the bully from high school that he probably was, almost certainly was, and just kind of treats him that way, which is great. And just the dazed look on his face, just the reactions, the point of view shots whenever Hank is getting pummeled by Nadine are just fantastic. He just looks completely like a cartoon. It's great. I don't know. That's it.
Yeah, I don't know. The only thing that I found interesting was the fact that where did Hank come from? Like, Nadine attacks him with that swinging motion, which to me was like, oh yeah, I remember when Leo did that with Shelley when it had meaning.
Oh, yes.
And now it's just so absurd. Like, all of this stuff is just so stupid. But whatever, it's fine. All right, we're going to jump over to the Great Northern, go back to the Great Northern. Ben has taken his LARPing to the next level. Bobby is having a very, very hard day at work, and Catherine pays him a visit.
I don't know, Bobby. How are you feeling about your big opportunity now? This is not exactly what he was planning to have happen. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot to say about this. There's a moment where Bobby calls Audrey baby and she doesn't go for it, which just made me very happy that she wasn't like either actually into it.
Yeah, she got what she wanted out of him, really.
She, like you said, she got what she needed and she's just shutting him down immediately, which is great. Catherine coming in. And yeah, I was here to gloat. But you make my body hum. Yeah. Amazing line.
She is so over Pete at this point. She is just.
Oh, Pete never had a chance. It was that one moment of reunion, and that was it. Yeah. That's all that she really needed from him, which I think is pretty much sums up their entire marriage. But yeah, I don't know. What do you?
It's nothing. I mean, the office is trashed. He's falling apart. Poor Bobby. I love that. Piper Laurie and Richard Beamer together. Always good. When she puts his head to her breast and he just yells onto victory is fun. It's fine. You make my body hum. I mean, come on. Who doesn't want to hear that? All right. So back in Jamestown, James and Evelyn celebrate the fixing of the car, as you do, and things get more serious. Don't call me Jim.
Never call him Jim. He is not a Jim. Yeah, I don't know if he fixes the car. It looks great. And then he's just a freaking sucker for her immediately. Like, it's just, James, sweet baby James, just getting suckered into everything. So yeah, they decide to celebrate on top of Mr. Marsh's car. He's going to have to buff that out at the very least. So he's just making more work for himself. And then that pull back down the driveway. No Steadicam apparently in the budget for this one, but pulling back down the driveway and you reveal Malcolm watching the entire time. Lots of peepers in this episode, Eric.
Yeah. I don't know, man. This scene goes on way too long. James, don't throw out the champagne. It's probably very expensive champagne. He's got the 2 glasses of champagne. He just dumps them, and then he goes in on.
Yeah.
It's like, just put them on the ground. You could pick, after you're done making out, you could just finish them off later.
Yeah, finish them off. You'll probably be thirsty. But he dumps them out and then throws the glasses onto the seat of the car that he just restored. So you're going to have to clean that too. James, think, dude.
Literally put them right down and then make out. Like, it's just, they just poured them.
Like a normal person.
I thought we were celebrating, Jim.
Jimmy.
It's fine. These two, I don't know. Let's go to Dead Dog Farm, right? Where the real action is. At Dead Dog Farm, the drug buy goes bad when Ernie's hyperhidrosis short circuits his wire, and Deputy Cooper exchanges himself for the hostages. Dan, what'd you think of the showdown? Well, almost the showdown, the lead up to the showdown at Dead Dog Farm.
Well, we found that Hank was supposed to be there, but too bad he is indisposed. He had other things to take care of, and now he's knocked clean out. Yep. Boy, a whole bunch of setting up sweaty Ernie paid off. He's smoking. Like he was sweating so bad he caused the whole thing to like catch fire and short circuit. That's terrific. I don't know, Deputy Dale. He's always the stand-up guy. Yeah, so he's going to swap himself for Ernie and Denise. I don't know. I don't have anything to say about it. We're getting set up.
Again, Ernie for the win for this one. Like all of his stuff where he's talking about the hyperhidrosis and everything and the sweating. It's funny. And to hear that over the mic, because you're getting it from the perspective of the Hawk and the police department, is great. I don't know. I said this stuff about John Renault. It's like, why weren't we seeing John Renault before, or building up to John Renault, or do something with Jean Renault? It's like all this stuff with Jean Renault and One-Eyed Jacks, and now we're not even, the last time we even saw One-Eyed Jacks. Like, it's just, he's just brought in now just because he wants to kill Cooper, but we're also supposed to be talking about Earl. Maybe Earl and Jean Renault could have worked together. I don't know. I just feel like we should have had at least one scene with Jean Renault plotting something.
I mean,
setting someone up.
The crooked Mountie. I mean, that he's there, but he doesn't do anything. It's just,
yeah, something, it's a little drama or a little action or just something instead of just winding him down now. All right, so we're gonna go back to Jamestown. It's back and forth to Jamestown, and we learn that Evelyn's family is very close, or her brother is not what he seems.
I choose to believe the former.
Yeah, I don't know if I spoiled this in previous episodes, right? I kept it under wraps that he's not the brother, right?
Yeah, I think that became pretty clear, but no, you didn't say anything. Yep. Jim is just sleep of the innocent, or simple, whatever.
Yeah, post love making, as you were, you can imagine.
They made it the whole way from the car to that bed. Yep. And now we learned that Malcolm is probably not her brother.
There's a lot of, in this episode, there's at least 2 potential things of like husbands or boyfriends watching their significant other with someone else, because he's watching, and we also had Hank, I guess, if you could.
And
he
also comments about like how lucky Jimmy was.
Yeah, it's weird
to get.
It's a little strange.
It's great. I'm not going to yuck his yum.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so we're going to go back to Dead Dog Farm. We should have left. Tensions are high at the standoff. Jean contemplates surrendering or murdering Cooper. Someone orders food. Cooper kills Jean Renault, and the dirty Mountie is captured.
We get the whole exposition about why Jean is so fixated on Cooper, of all things.
Is my death so important to you?
My 2 brothers died. I hold you responsible.
Why?
What? Before you came here, Twin Peak was a simple place. My brothers dealt up to the teenagers and the truck drivers. One-Eyed Jack welcomed the businessmen and the tourists. Quiet people live a quiet life. Then, a pretty girl died. And you arrive, and everything changed. My brother Bernardo, shot, and left to die in the woods.
brother with the villain. Kidnapping, death. Certainly the quiet people. They're quiet no more. Suddenly the simple dream become the nightmare. So, if you die, maybe you will be the last to die.
The simple dream that he had in the town of Twin Peaks has become a nightmare, and maybe if he kills Cooper, the nightmare will go with him. I love that. That's a recurring motif of dreams versus nightmares. Maddie talking about being in a dream that she can't wake up from. That's become a nightmare. I like that, calling back to it, even though it's a kind of completely different context for it. Having Denise come dressed as a waitress from the Double R seems
Harry's idea.
Pretty contrived to make that happen. Like, you can imagine, I don't know, I've seen plenty of movies where like they have a pizza being delivered to help with the, as they're doing the hostage negotiations, but like fully in like the getup of it's a great scene. I love Denise pulling up the dress slightly, just so you can see the gun tucked in the garter, and just like Cooper knows exactly what to do and taking over there. It's great.
It's a great scene, but it's also not great. Like, just when you start thinking about it, like, why are you letting this person in?
Yeah.
You did not order the food. Yeah. You're Jean Renault's supposed to be the smart one of the Renault brothers. It's not like it's Bernie running this thing where Bernie may fall for it.
I don't think Jacques would have fallen for it.
I don't know. You could get Jacques off the table with just the right chip, and you can get him in a little drink with a umbrella.
Oh, that's true. That's true. It depends. Yeah, go for it.
But anyway, it's like, it's just kind of silly.
But R.I.P. As far as I know, the last of the Renault brothers. No.
No.
Oh no.
There may be another Renault brother.
What?
But you're gonna have to wait at least 25 years.
Oh, I don't remember that at all. Okay, cool, fantastic.
I don't know if you have anything else in this.
Nope,
I would just say, like, that's so like this peace symbol. Like, somebody broke into Dead Dog Farms, like a bunch of kids, to get high, and then somebody painted a peace symbol on the wall. It just seems so silly. This is a general, not a complaint. I feel like I'm complaining too much, but hey, we're mid-season. I'm allowed to highlight the good stuff and the bad stuff.
Yes.
The earlier episodes, there's always like little things in the background, or like fun stuff with extras. Even when we're in the Double R, it's a lot of just people at a table. Whereas you would have like, interesting things that I would love to point out. And is that just the fact that they have an incredibly busy schedule to crank these things out? We're not doing 7 episodes. We're doing, 22 episodes or whatever. But those kind of things, like just like the little peace symbol was like, okay, whatever. I love the speech that Jean Renault tells Cooper, like, this used to be a really quiet town until you showed up, and then all this trouble happens. Now, I don't believe it at all. Clearly, Leland was going to kill Laura. Leland probably was going to kill Matt. Like, all of these things that were going on happened before Cooper got there. Yep. But whatever, I'll give Jean Renault that nice. Michael Parks is a great actor, so I enjoy him. That's another reason why I was like, just give us more Michael Parks.
Yeah.
And things would be good. That's it. Truman's idea to use Denise's legs. Fantastic. So there you go. We're going to go back to the Johnson home. The power's out and Leo's in.
This scene, the power going, cutting in and out with the record player going, it's just super effective. This is
great. A
great, like,
high watermark of this episode.
Well, yes, for sure. This episode, it's a very low bar to clear for that. But I think one of the best, most effective scenes in the past couple of episodes, for my money. It just feels that dread starts to build immediately. Shelley trying to figure out what's going on. Is it Bobby? Is someone there? She goes looking around. The lights keep going out. The record player spinning up and slowing down again. And the clown in Leo's bed is just chilling. And she goes over and she goes to the wheelchair turned around. There's no one there. Turned the other way, and there's Leo dressed like a clown with stuff all over his face. I presume that's how Bobby and Shelley left him, and he didn't decide to go do that to himself.
But I think he decided to go do that to himself.
Okay, sounds cool.
I think it's like a homage or a reference to the episode Demons that Leslie Linka Glatter did, where he's got the cake on his face because that's when he fell in. He's wearing the birthday hat. He's still got the same robe that we saw him on, or pajamas, but to me, it's like, I've been aware
all of these
this
things
whole
you've done
time
to me. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And here's, I'm sort of reminding you of it. And the clown thing, I've seen Twin Peaks 1,000 times. And not until we did this podcast, scene by scene, where it's like, oh yeah, Leo likes clowns.
Oh yeah.
There's a clown on the wall in this thing.
Yeah.
And there's all this clown stuff. And like Jacques like clown. Did they like clowns together? And then you get the clown on the bed. It's like, oh, that's a whole Leo thing with the clowns and his birthday. And it's just awesome.
It's great.
And the chair turn, when she turns the chair, is very much like Psycho, to the point where they even shoot that the swinging shots of the light at the end was very much like the end of Psycho when they turn, except there's no one in the chair. It's like just like the show.
It made me think of, yes, there's definitely that, but it made me think the bare light bulb swinging there, both of the scene you referenced earlier with Leo swinging the bar of soap in a sock too, because I think they cut away to a light from there. And it also, for some reason, just makes me think of the light above the staircase in the Palmer house. I don't know, the creepiest like ceiling fan light. I don't know why. It just made me, it's maybe just the association of dread made it work for me, but like that all feels accurate to me.
For me, like I was like, oh, Psycho. Like there's that end of Psycho. They're in the fruit cellar, going up to the chair, turn the chair around, skeleton. Oh my God, there's Norman Bates as the mother.
That's
and then
terrific.
I think they go to the light shot. Now, I've just ruined Psycho for anyone that has not seen it, but it's a great ending.
Fantastic.
Or a great build up to the ending. And then they do the whole thing with the psychiatrist and and I didn't like that part. All right. I also love, did you have more on this? I love how scary it is.
Yeah.
You talked about how scary it is. Like Twin Peaks at its best is when it's painting in these in darkness and light. And you can't just do light. You can't just be on the fun. You gotta balance this stuff. You gotta paint the whole color. You want all 64 colors. And finally we're getting something legitimately scary, interesting, and cool. And I think that Todd Holland really nails it with the sound mix and the dipping and the coming in. It's just
Totally.
it's wonderful. We're going to continue with this power issue as we go to the sheriff's station. Lucy tells Cooper, Harry, and Hawk about a bomb threat that was called in just before the lights went out. Cooper investigates and discovers Earl's next move.
Yeah. So now we know that everything is connected here. Wyndham Earl has set all the pieces in motion. So the power's off there at the station. Also very creepy as well. We get Lucy talking to Cooper and Harry about, what she was told, and there's the transformer had blown out and the sparks, blah, 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 and she's still talking, and Cooper goes to investigate further and then calls Harry over alone to take a look. And that tableau that we have with the dead guy sitting at the chessboard with his finger pointing to the pieces, and the eyes all milky white, and there's some animal taxidermied with antlers there. It's just a really frightening scene. So I love that we get these two scenes together at the end. The show begins with a very unusual start that feels very unsettling and creepy, and then it ends on this note as well. So it's a good bookend for this episode. This is where we should be spending our time with this episode.
Yeah.
But I'll take what I can get for this.
It's good. Yeah, the whole dead drifter thing. As you look at the board, the chessboard doesn't make a lot of sense. He is pointing at where, the two moves were Earl moving his pawn to king 4, and then Cooper moved his black piece, and now he's taking Cooper's black piece. But the rest of the chessboard is like, one of his pawns is missing, and then the pawn is where the queen should be, and Earl's knight is missing. You can't look at any of the other pieces on the board. It should just be those 2 pawn pieces that have moved. But I like it. It's cool. It's interesting. The open eye is frightening on that dead drifter.
Yeah.
Like, one of the eyes is like milky white.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's from the lighting or like it just looks intentional. So like,
oh
what
no,
happened
I thought
with that.
I just assumed it was like someone who has been dead for a little while. So the eyes have like really glassed over. I was just like, oh, this is gross.
Is that what happens to eyes when you die? They just turn white?
There's only one way to find out, Eric. But I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it. It's the end of the episode. It's not my favorite episode. There's definitely high points, like the opening and the ending, and I enjoyed Todd Holland's work.
James in here, which is really good, so that kept me going.
There could be more James, because does the car still run?
I know. Is that really
right?
the pink?
How is the axle? Is the axle holding up?
I don't know, man. We could have had full scenes of him buffing the car, and that would have been great.
Hey, we got Earl now killing people, and we got Leo on his legs.
Yeah.
He's out. He's so things are looking good, and we got rid of the Jean Reno subplot. That's now crossed off your list.
Fantastic.
If you were thinking about it, because they're not telling you about it.
Oh boy,
it just exists. But yeah, all right. So we're gonna be.
What are we doing next?
It's episode 21, but is it
is called
Wounds and
Double
Scars?
Play.
Oh, double play. Yep, so we'll see you next time for episode 21.
All right, buddy. I can't wait to get to
right.
more of these awesome episodes.
See ya.
Okay, bye.
Thank you for listening to the Meanwhile podcast with Dan Johnson and Eric Grissom. If you would like to support the Meanwhile podcast, join our Patreon. It's available right now. You can sign up, and for just a few dollars a month, you can keep this show going, and you can get access to some exclusive podcasts and some secret stuff that you're not going to find anywhere else. So if you'd like to join, go to ericgrissom.com/meanwhile and look for the Patreon link. If you like our show, please consider rating and reviewing the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you're hearing this now. Meanwhile is produced by Eric Grissom and Where's My Robots? The Meanwhile theme song is written and performed by Paul Finn and Evening Pines. If you want to let us know what you thought of the show, you can reach Dan at danjnj.com, both on the web and on Blue Sky. Eric can be found on Blue Sky at ericgrissom.com, which is also his website. It's also me, right? That's weird. We'll see you again. And in the meantime, be good.
Listen to the sounds.
Meanwhile.